You know, ever since I had my chakras misaligned by a Santa Monica sound bath healer, I felt a lack of love. And the reason is because I had my chakras all messed up and I wasn't operating in the key of love. If you know anything about the sacred chakras, there are 7 of them for each of the nodes, and it turns out the key of F is the heart chakra. So today we're talking about secrets in the key of love, which is also the key of F, which makes sense, it is my favorite key. But here's the thing, it's like, a lot of the stuff with F major is great, because let's just run through the chords in the key of F major real quick. We've got F major, G minor, A minor, B flat major, C major, D minor, and then E half diminished, whatever, back to F, okay? Now, one of the best ways to make this the key of love is take a capo and put it on the 1st fret, all right? So, here we go. Now what we can do here is we can use open chords, like a beautiful open key like the key of E. We can use all the key of E shapes, but then still play and realign our chakras, right? Why is the key of F the sacred heart chakra key? Because F stands for Fishman, which is the sponsor of this video. Right now I'm running this amazing guitar through the Fishman mini EQ pedal, which we're gonna talk more about later. But now let's talk about how we can use these same keys and really get a lot of love from them. Okay, so now an open E major chord, right? Relative to the capo, now I'm open E, 2A, 2D, 1G, B, E. With an acoustic guitar, that open string sounds so much better as compared to a bar chord. Right? You kind of get that closed voice, which still sounds good, but it's still, open is the way to go, right? Now that's why I really almost always use F major 7, which we're gonna talk about, don't worry, where I have that open E string on top right there. Because it's hard to really get the openness of it. But when you put a capo on the 1st fret, like I said, now that open E shape is gonna be your F major chord, okay? And I think the most beautiful thing about love, just being opening your heart to all this, is having the B and the E strings ring on top of your chords, okay? So now I'm gonna play that same chord scale, but with the B string and E string open. The notes now being the 1st fret on the B string, which would be a C, and the 1st fret on the E string, which would be an F, which are, you know, 2 very important notes in the key of F, F and C, the 1 and the 5, right? So, now I'm gonna go through the 1 chord, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we could do 7 up here, and then back to maybe a different F major chord, right? 1 chord F, 2 chord G minor, and again, look, now I'm using this minor 7 chord voicing where my middle finger is 2E, skip the A string, or leave it open, whatever, 2D and 2G, and then open B and E on top, which again really is open C and F on top. Then 2 frets higher, there's my A major. This one I want to make sure I don't get that open A because I'll get the dissonance in it, so mute that with your middle finger. And then now I'm playing the B flat as a major 7 chord where my pointer finger is, again, relative to the capo, the 5th fret, but the 6th fret in real guitar terms. On the E string, skipping the A string, down a fret on the D and G string, and then in line on the B string, and then still open on top. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This would be the 5 chord. C, again here, so again, just in real fretboard terms, 8 on the E string, 7 on the A string, 8 on the D string, 9 on the G string, and then again, keep that C and F note in there, and then D, which is the same shape as those guys right there, okay? So, I do think that now our chakras are becoming more aligned. I know you can feel it, right? With that openness of it. We're just gonna end on the F on the A string, which is the 8th fret, and then kind of get this right here. Okay, this is what I think is kind of like the prettiest 1 chord that you could do, because you have the root note on the top and the bottom. You have the octave root note here, and then then you have the major third there with your pointer finger, 7th fret on the D string, and then the major 7, 9th fret on the G string. Sounds great, right? So you can go from here to here. And even just running it in like a pattern is already one of the most beautiful things that you can do. So let's put this into practice, right? I'm gonna make a chill yoga style track because I was just hanging out with my friend Banana Blondie, and we have this deal where she buys me lunch at the Malibu Soho house in exchange for like a yoga track that she can use to her yoga. She's a yoga influencer. She's got an awesome website, so check her out too. But yeah, I owe her an ambient thing. So it's gonna be in the key of F because it's beautiful. And I'm running it through the sponsor of this video, the Fishman AFX, these mini pedals they make. This is the Pro Mini EQ. Sounds amazing. Real quick, this is all you need to hear. This is with it on, this is with it off. In fact, I'm also going through the Reverb pedal. I did a video on this last month. I'll link you to. So this is just dry. And then I just put a little reverb on it. Not a lot, super tasteful. And then the EQ is really the, come on. And again, so this works great for studio stuff and for live stuff because it's got a low cut filter. So if you're ever feeding back live, that's something you might want to use. Something I don't really need to do for the recording of this, but what I have here, as you can see, I've got the lows boosted a little bit, and then the highs and the brilliance are also boosted. And I'm cutting the mids out because I know there's gonna be other stuff in this track. So again, listen to the mids. And again, the way that you can kind of like tastefully take out some of the mids and then really just kind of boost the brilliance and the highs, I think is a beautiful way to just record acoustic guitar. So again, these pedals are extremely inexpensive. You can get the whole thing, the EQ, the looper, the reverb, and the ABY switcher, which I'll do more videos on soon, for a very, very reasonable price. So check that out. There's an affiliate link in the description. Thank you to Fishman for sponsoring the video, and let's get to it. Let's make some actual music in the key of love. All right, so the vibe here is just gonna be going back and forth from the 1 chord to the 4 chord, B flat, major 7, right? These are the 2 chords that become major 7s in a key. So those are the chords that I'm gonna use, obviously. All right, so next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add this emerald amicus on top of it. Okay, so this is without the EQ. Okay, so really interesting sounding instrument. This is a 12-string instrument that is tuned like a guitar, but it has a higher register, but it's tuned down a step. So this is tuned to D standard. So to do the same thing they're doing before, we just use the actual key of G chords, right? Which is like very interesting to think about because if I'm playing a G major, since it's tuned down a step to D standard, everything is down a full step. So now G major is my F key, right? The G major shapes play in F. So if I want to do a 1-4 and F to B flat on the amicus, I just play G major to C major 7. Okay? Now the cool thing about going through the EQ pedal now is I can really mix it to sit well with the acoustic guitar. So what I'm gonna do is here, you're gonna hear it right now. Now it might be like, oh, this is kind of, you just made it sound worse, because what I did here is I cut a little bit of the lows and a little bit of the mids, and then I boosted the highs and boosted the brilliance. So it's already like a high sounding guitar or instrument or whatever, but it makes it sit better in a different register than the acoustic guitar. So even though playing it with a pick, you're getting nothing but high end, but that also is the attack of the pick. So again, here's without the EQ picked, with the brilliance added. So what I don't like about that is the attack. So I'm just gonna use my fingers. And adds this really cool kind of sheen on top of it. So let's add that to what we have. All right, it wouldn't be true beauty if you didn't have some kind of strings going on. So I'm just gonna record a real quick strings patch to go back and forth from F major to B flat. So just a 1/4, maybe I'll throw in like a 6-chord D minor, but this is what we got. Obviously, any ambient track wouldn't be complete without some wild. Try to not get into feedback. Anyways, thank you again to Fishman for sending over the AFX pedals. Like I said, there is an affiliate link in the description. Thanks for sponsoring the video. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions or comments, hit me up in the comment section, Instagram, Twitter, or the website. And go show Banana Blondie some love because she's going to be using this track in the key of love, hopefully very soon. Thanks a lot.